Hey, welcome back to Minus Letter Live. The guest this segment is Niel Marotta. He's the CEO of INDIVA, which is a relatively new ACMPR licensee and newly traded as well.
That's right. Yeah, we are licensed under the ACMPR. INDIVA is a licensed producer. We're the 52nd company to get our license. We got our license in July of 2017. And we're in the process now of working towards our sales license, which we expect next quarter.
Okay, great. What's the main differentiator of INDIVA relative to all the other ACMPR guys out there?
Yeah, I mean, our corporate ethos at INDIVA really revolves around quality and authenticity. And a lot of people talk about quality, and we have a terrific master grower who has been growing medical cannabis for a long, long time, has helped hundreds of patients. Pete, yeah, Pete's our master grower.
Pete's kind of famous.
Yeah, you should have him on the show at some point here. He is pretty
I thought
famous.
he was coming.
Yeah, well, next time we'll bring him for sure.
Sure.
And but you know, a lot of people talk about quality, and not everyone competes on quality. That's our lane, so to speak. But the one thing that you can't fake is authenticity, and really that's what Pete brings to the table for us. We think, having helped patients for all this time, having cultivated dozens of different strains, and having some understanding about what strains help patients and why.
Right. He was one of the early sort of advocates for legalized medical hemp, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. I mean, he's been a medical marijuana activist for close to 20 years, if not more. He's been licensed under the old system, under the MMAR, since I think 2001.
Ooh, that makes him a dinosaur in this business.
It sort of, yeah. Well known.
Okay, so what's the production profile look like now in terms of square footage under cultivation? How many patients do you service?
Right. Well, we don't have a sales license, so we don't have any patients signed up yet. We have several hundred that have registered with us that are anxious and waiting for us to get our sales license. We have completed our first harvest, two harvests, pardon me. So we're now in the process of working with Health Canada towards a sales license, which we expect next quarter. And our facility right now is at 10,000 square feet. That's the first, let's say, phase one that we built out with the money that we raised. We're sitting on over 30 million of cash right now, and we'll use a good chunk of those proceeds, maybe half of that, give or take, to expand to 40,000 square feet. And that takes us to 2,500 to 3,000 kilos a year. And that's really sort of the start. We'd like to grow much larger than this, probably with a second or third site that we'll license, working with other partnerships. But that's where we're at with our first site in London. Sure.
So is the focus for INDIVA strictly medical, or are you sort of making a move to welcome the recreational regime as well?
Yeah, we're an inclusive brand. So it's what we said before and what we stand by. It's not up to us to decide whether you're a patient or whether you're a customer in the rec market. That's up to you to decide why you use cannabis. And as long as you have a legal channel to access it, and we have a legal channel to sell it to you through that method, then we'll do so.
Cool. Do you have any specific strategic partnerships with anybody to sort of create a global market?
We're working towards that. We have one partnership with a Swiss company called Medrofarm. They're sending us over some CBD strains. We know that the CBD oils and the CBD strains are in very high demand by patients. So that's one of our partnerships, and we are working aggressively towards international distribution partnerships, both in Europe and in Asia.
From where you sit as a relatively new entrant to the ACMPR universe, are you at all sort of frustrated with the sort of non-stop licensing of new growers that Health Canada has been sort of rolling out in an effort to sort of make sure the market is well serviced?
I wouldn't say frustrated. No, I mean, we're part of that group too. We weren't licensed number one, we were number 52. Since we got our license last July, the number of LPs has almost doubled. I would expect that number to keep climbing. You know, in Washington State, there's over 1,000 gardens that are licensed, with about a fifth of the population of Canada. So at the end of the day, I don't know that it matters how many licenses are out there. The licenses don't really relate to how big your operation is. So there's no direct, let's say, correlation between number of licensees and total supply. I think what you'll see is consolidation. You'll probably have, at the end of the day, half a dozen really big licensees. Whether we acquire our way there or acquire it into it, we'll do what's right for shareholders. But at the end of the day, look, I think what's more important than just how much do you grow is what's the quality of your product? Do you have strains that actually help patients? Do you have strains that people want to go to the OCS, let's say, come back and buy again?
So INDIVA's focused primarily on a high-quality smoked flower or extracts as well?
Definitely both. So for sure, our quality and authenticity revolve around terrific dry flowers. We are building an extraction facility in London. And beyond that, what we're working also towards, and we've been working very hard towards, is building these international partnerships, IP partnerships with leading brands, award-winning brands that are already popular in California. We think if it sells in California and wins awards, it's going to do just fine in Canada. We hope to announce that next quarter.
Sure. Okay. And so what else have you got coming up in 2018 that will sort of be representative of progress?
Yeah, so I think what's baked in the cake right now is being fully funded to expand to produce the sort of 2,500 to 3,000 kilos of dry flowers plus oils. We're not giving any guidance there, and that's upside. We think our valuation now at $30 million enterprise value is a bit ridiculous, quite frankly, relative to let's say the revenue that's baked into the cake. Beyond that, we'll get our sales license next quarter, complete the expansion, and I think that the other, let's say, three main let's say stools or legs on the stool that we'll pursue are the international partnerships on IP for our products, move towards being a product company. We'll build international distribution relationships, and we'll find at least one, if not more, scale partners to increase our total capacity and have a second license site.
Cool, sounds great, Neil. We'll leave it there for now and come back to you in a couple quarters. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, my pleasure. Thank you.